So for NVR sequences, if you want to know how to do this, first you have to understand what a sequence is. So a sequence, if I type one out, for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's a sequence. What's happening there is for each of the numbers, oh, that seems to have disappeared. There we go, for each number you're just adding 1. So you're going from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, etc. right? Same thing if you do like the 2 times table, you're in 2, 4, 6, 8, and that's a sequence, so you're adding by 2 each time. So 6 to 8 you're adding by 2, same thing. Obviously here it's going to be a similar idea but with shapes, so instead of it being a rule of how much you're adding or subtracting with a number sequence, it's going to be what's happening to the shape. You might be adding or subtracting things from the shape, something might be changing colour, could be all of these different things. So if you look at the instructions, in sequences questions you'll be given an incomplete sequence image, so this is the incomplete sequence image. Incomplete because there's a missing option in the sequence. You will have to choose your answer from the given options and you have to complete the gap basically in the sequence. And in this example there's no answer options, but we can actually have a look at what's going on. Like in the number sequence, you have to see what's going on between each step, and then once you figure what it is, figure out what the change is, you can apply that to so this one's pretty simple. You can see that the top shape gets shaded in black on the next shape, on the next step, and the circle goes white, right? And then it just swaps again, and then it swaps again, and then this one's obviously going to be the same as this one, so it's going to have a white thing here, it's going to have a circle, it's going to have a black circle inside. Like before, the things that could be changing are in this mnemonic, so never sneak snacks to a crowded picnic. Like I said, instead of it being adding or subtracting numbers in a number sequence, it will probably be something like maybe the angle is changing each step, maybe the color is changing, maybe the total number of sides of something is changing, anything like that. Mops is just some extra stuff to go through if you can't find anything from the above. So I think there is an example question here. So movement of a shape. Yeah, so these are some other common one. Movement of a shape, repeating patterns, adding or taking away of the shape, or combination of the above mentioned. And what we're going to find on this example question is an example of number 1, where something is moving around in the sequence, and it will actually be both of them. So you can see here, first of all, the circle inside, it seems to be in different places throughout the sequence. So if you move to the next sequence, the circle is gone to the right and it's on the outside. On the next one, it comes back inside and it's on the it's moved along sort of to this side of the hexagon. On the next one, it's outside, but again it's moved along. So we can assume what's going to happen next is it's going to move here. It's not going to be on the outside because it's just been on the outside, it's going to be on the inside, right? From that we can cancel out C because it's on the outside. The other two have got the circle in the right position. Again, another thing that's changing from step to step is it's going grey, white, grey, white. So obviously this option is going to be grey, meaning it has to be A. And I think this just explains it. So if you got the book, just read through that if you need to. And some extra tips. Yes, so this is very important actually, and it's actually quite similar to verbal reasoning as well, with their number sequences. So first of all, you want to do one attribute at a time. This means, like we did above, I just took it one step at a time. First I looked at the fact that the circle is moving, and then I figured out where the circle needs to be, and then I looked at the color. If you try and look at the color and the circle at the same time, sometimes you'll get a bit mixed up. You might make a mistake, choose the wrong option, and oftentimes your question will have 3 or 4 different rules, all at the same time. And the reason they do that is because you're more likely to make a mistake and choose an option that is there to sort of trip you up. So doing it one at a time is definitely important. Obviously you want to be able to do that fast. And also you want to make sure you go through the whole thing, like you can see here. This pattern is going along, but sometimes a pattern can do 1, 2, 3 and then reverse backwards and go 2, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 instead of going all the way up, right? So for example, if you look at these first 3 options, maybe it's turning to the right all the way up to here, and then after that it turns back to the left. Actually, you can see it is doing that here. So instead of thinking that you have to go down here, you can see it's actually turned back, and that's why you have to go through the whole series before you can figure out what the last option is. Once a pattern is started to repeat, it will likely be identical attributes. Yep. Again, similar to this one where we've had the same option again. But oh, there's another example question. We'll go through this one because these ones are again a bit more difficult. So you want to find one thing that is sort of changing from step to step. First of all, I can already see that the patterns, so I can see this checkered option is first, it's on the right side, so you can see here, and then it moves to the bottom shape of the 3, and then it moves to the top shape of the 3, or like the top left shape of the 3. Also, I mean sorry, I'm moving the camera. The orientation, or like the formation of the shapes, is changing, but we're going to ignore that for now. I'm just going to focus on the shapes and the shading and how that's changing. So the checkered thing is going to the right, then to the bottom, then to the top. What I'm going to assume here is it should be somewhere on the right for the next one, or at least it shouldn't be at the top. So I'm leaning towards B because the checkered shape is on the right. E doesn't have a checkered shape at all, so I can cross that out. That should definitely be in this sequence. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do for now. I'm not going to cancel anything out just in case I'm making a mistake with that. But we're going to carry on looking at the shadings actually. So you can see with the same thing with the horizontal lines. It sort of moves along in the same format. It is always like clockwise position to that pattern, right? You can see here it's always in the clockwise. So clockwise is this way. It's always one further to the right on a clockwise pattern, meaning that should probably be the same here. And actually you can see here clockwise there isn't a horizontal line, so actually probably won't be going with B for that. This one, it does have the horizontal line clockwise of it. This one it does, and this one it doesn't. So actually I think that's a strong enough rule for me to already cross out B and C, and we're already left with just A and D. What else? Definitely that diagonal line, that should be next. That should be after the horizontal line, and again you can see here this one doesn't have a diagonal line, whereas this one does. And really that's actually, for me, that's strong enough to give me D. And I got that from just looking at the patterns. Usually for a question like this there's loads of different things that could come up. So it could be the number of shapes, for example. It could be the number of sides on here. That could be the sequence, or it could be symmetry, stuff like that. So if you start on the wrong one and you can't find anything, you have to just move on. Let me see what we got. Yeah, we got the same answer. Sometimes it does depend on like luck, on if you choose the right feature first time, like we did here. But yeah, the fact is, if you try something else like total number of sides, you'll probably won't find the answer. Then you have to move on to the next one. Unlike we set up here, just like sort of rinse through these. So like first try number, then try size, then try shape, and if you're not finding anything, just keep going back to that mnemonic and you can try different features. So we're going to take only 2 questions from the worksheet and see if we can do them very quickly. Just show you some extra example questions. So question 25 and 26, you can see these ones are a bit different. They're not in a square format, they're actually drawn in a weird way. But it's the same idea. It's still just a series. With this one, there's no blank space. What you can assume is it's just asking what should be here. And with this one, this is a blank space. This is what you need to fill in. So let's have a look at what the pattern could be. Immediately I look at the number of arrows on each side, because it seems to be increasing. So you got 2 here, you got 3, you got 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so that's 6 arrows, meaning this one is probably going to need 7. I can already cancel out A. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not going to be that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so actually I'm thinking it's already C, because it's only one with 7 arrows. But just to finish it off and double check what else is changing in this sequence, the arrow should go bottom, then top, then bottom, then top, then bottom, meaning this one should be on the top, so that matches it. And then the triangle should be facing up, then down, then up, then down, then up, then down, and that faces it, that matches it as well. And also the line, you can see, should be that way. But yeah, so that should be the answer for C. Question 26. I am looking at the shapes. What I can see is the top half always has to have a square, and the bottom half seems to have a diamond or nothing there. So this one has nothing there. So the top half is definitely going to be a square. Hold on. It does actually look like, I think it's asking us to fill in the blank on this option and not this one, mainly because none of these would actually match for the top section. So I'm going to fill in the blank for this one, and that's pretty simple actually, because there isn't much of a sequence. It's just this is the same as this, this is the same as this. So this should be the same as that, that should be the same as that, meaning it should be C. Not C, sorry, that's got the wrong shape. Oh, I've messed it up there. So you can see C's got the wrong circle there, but it should be B. These ones aren't diamonds, but yeah, so B should fit into here. Hopefully that's self-explanatory, because these ones, again, the top half is always the same, the bottom half should always be the same, and yeah, like, I'm just going to assume that's where it's meant to be. I'm going to check the answers and see what it says for the explanation there. Okay, so for the answer scheme, we were right about C, obviously, and that's explained here. But if we look at question 26, again we were right about B. Let's see how it explains it. Each shape is inverted vertically. There is a small box on the upper boxes, a diamond box on the lower boxes. A small filled circle is the same throughout the boxes. Yep. Basically it just explains why it should be this here. There's no real explanation as to why this is already half filled in. Again, sometimes you just have to use your common sense in these sections and figure out which option is it asking you to fill out. The fact is, right, if it was asking you to fill out this one, like I thought at the beginning, there isn't any actual correct option here that would work. So you just have to assume that this is maybe unfilled. It's sort of just giving you a hint there. Not sure if that's a printing error on my PDF or if that's come out in your book as well. Either way, B would fit in there, and that should be the question mark, really, you know. But yeah, hopefully that was a useful video for you.